AT&T is open. That's where.
Okay, it says we are live. We are live.
The City Council of the City of Log Cabin is meeting in session April 23rd, 2020 at 5:15 p.m. at Log Cabin City Hall, 14387 Alamo Road, Log Cabin, Texas. The meeting is being streamed on YouTube on the City of Log Cabin channel. Citizens will be able to comment and ask questions via text to 903-875-6501. If a closed session is necessary, the meeting will be reopened after the closed session. The subjects to be discussed or considered upon which any formal action is to be taken are on the agenda. These items do not have to be taken in the same order as shown on the agenda. Roll call. Jennifer Williams. Here. Jessica Abbey. Here. Rodney Allen.
Present.
John Perkins.
Here.
David Campos is absent. We have a quorum. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to serve the people of Log Cabin. As we undertake the business of the city, we pray, Lord, that you will guide our thoughts, words, and actions to do what is best for the citizens of our city. We pray that you will not let our personal preferences overshadow the work that we need to accomplish. During this period of dealing with the COVID-19 problem, Lord, we would like to thank you for giving strength and health to those people who are providing essential services. We appreciate the sacrifices they make every day and are aware of the danger they face each day, and ask that you shelter them from harm and help them to stay healthy. In Jesus' name we ask all these things. Amen.
Amen.
I don't think that we have anything additional for the COVID-19 update. The update as of last night is that the county had 22. They had 22 as of last night.
Yes.
And they usually send updates right at 5 o'clock, so we haven't got their update yet. So the city and the county and the state are all still under stay-at-home order. Okay, item number 5 is to discuss, approve, or take action on the purchase of the tractor mower and a sidearm used for the maintenance department. At the last meeting, the council, after we left the next day or a couple days later, Rodney came in and we had a discussion about whether we should buy on time or lease. You want to speak to that?
So I figured it out for 3 years. If we leased it, we're gonna pay a little over $11,000. We could buy it for 14. So 3 years, we spent $11,000 and for nothing. And I don't think that we had that kind of money to just throw away. Didn't it come with a 2-year warranty?
Comes with a 2-year warranty.
Comes with a 2-year warranty. So an extra year is like $750 a year. And then an extra 2 years is like 13.
Just 13.
It's 100, so yeah, 1350.
Okay, so So basically, we could get another 2-year warranty for $100 a month. So we pay $239.66, I think is what it is. If we buy it outright, that's what our payments are.
Mhm.
So you can pay closer to $336 if you wanted to. And you have a 4-year warranty on that piece.
And we would own it at the end of 5 years.
That's fine.
Well,
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
I was just doing the math, and that's what I thought is that if you lease it, they want a bunch of their money up front, or first 3 years, or whatever it is. And I just couldn't see paying over $11,000 and nothing. And if you took it $1,000 and had nothing, and so I'm looking at 4 years, we're paying 14, so math works out. I'm good at math, but it works out better. But we also have a 4-year, you can pay, and I don't know, it'll be a little over 300, maybe $345. Maybe that's what it is. I can't remember. With an extra 2-year warranty.
So,
And I think that's not a bad deal. Because you got a good machine, get 4-year warranty out of it, and it's yours. And then I saw this John Deere stuff you know. By the way, thank you for doing all this. I don't think that guy's telling me the truth.
I don't
'Cause
either.
I looked up that model number and it says a 48-inch deck. So I looked up a comparable John Deere diesel,
to the component,
that-
comparable to that.
the same horsepower, whatever, and they're like 18 grand. So just to double check.
Yeah.
A diesel engine is gonna last you a lot longer than a gas engine.
Right, well, I thought something was off on that quote anyways. So,
So, anyway, that's what I was discussing with the mayor, is just saying that I don't know that the city needs to spend that kind of money for nothing.
Right.
And if we actually did it again, we're gonna spend a bunch of money
Right.
and still have it. And without having to write a big check, to just go down and pay for one.
Right.
So, anyway, that's the long story. So I still say, I think be buying the Kubota and leave it up. I mean, an extra 100 a month,
but I don't think it'll be an extra 100 a month.
it may not be. I don't know.
Let's just say, because if you take the 1350 and divide it over 36 months,
No.
how many years is it?
This is 6 months.
It would be
It's 60
24.
months.
You would divide the 1350 by,
Okay, so that's gotta be paid for in the first 2 years, the extended warranty?
For the first 2 years, we buy the extended for 4 years. It comes in 2 years and we buy the extended to make it for 4 years.
So we,
I think what, and I don't know, you'd have to check, but I think what would happen is you go down there and sign the papers, and there's $1,350 tacked on to this. So you have to take the 1,350, add it to the 14,379, divide that by 60. So you're exactly right. It wouldn't be 100 a month.
It would be, that's why I was saying, because we had discussed, not going over the 300, and I don't think we will, even if we tack on that 1350.
262.16.
Yeah.
It's somewhere close.
So, but I agree,
That's not bad.
no, that's not bad at all. That's why I said, we're still keeping under our 300. that we had originally wanted to do anyway, so.
Okay.
Give me 30 seconds. Good.
Okay, anybody else have anything to say about that? John, do you think that's a better deal if we buy it outright? I mean, to buy it instead of leasing? it?
Yes, and this, but what, the money is in the budget for this, right?
Yes, yeah, well, the money was in there to purchase the John Deere grider.
40,
Okay.
little 4,000.
Well, 4,500, I think. Is what we put in the budget.
So what we've got in there will cover the payments for the rest of our year budget.
Oh, for sure.
And then when we make the new budget, we'll put in there the payment for that.
Yeah, and then it will be,
Yes.
so that will
So we
bring
can't
in,
buy it outright, we have to make, okay, that's cool.
yeah, we can't pay $14,000 for anything.
I remember saying it was in the budget, but I didn't know if the whole thing was, so.
And that was
Obviously, it's not.
Well, but it's 0% interest, so
Yeah.
why,
Yeah.
Right,
why pay that big check?
right.
You're
Right.
not paying any interest.
Right.
Let me just throw one other one at you. So 1 year was 750. 2 years was like 13 something. So I think what we need to do is ask them what 3 years would be.
I
I
thought he
think-
didn't have, did he have 3?
Well, yes, I believe we can do as many years as we want on the extended warranty. The reason why he went 2 more was because we were looking at the 4-year lease to keep it under 3. And when I was talking to him, and that's what he told me, that we could do another year on that if we wanted. So I'm 95% sure we could do a 3rd year on it. And if so, it's probably gonna be $200 less, I would say, because each year is like $100 off. So it would be $750, $1,350 plus another $550 or $650. So yeah,
Okay, well, I figured another 750. Just if, okay, we signed a 2 year, add another one, okay, so worst case scenario, maybe 750. That puts the payment at 274.
right.
And
Still.
you have a 5-year warranty, so your warranty covers your payoff. Or your, basically your loan term or whatever.
Right.
So your money's insured for 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah, no,
That might be-
I really feel very confident that we can do 3 extra years instead of 2, just because we're going for the 60 months. Excuse me, so, yes. He didn't say that's all you can do is 2 extra years, so he just said that because we talked about the 4 years, so. I'm sure they would, also talk about that.
Okay. So when I call him tomorrow, somebody may want to make a motion about what I need to tell him.
Yeah.
I make a motion.
I'm joking. I wasn't gonna put that on you. No, I make a motion that you call them tomorrow, see what a 3-year extended warranty.
But do we want to keep it at 300 in case it happens to be 302 or something?
Well, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I'm trying to keep us from having to come back and meet again, is what I'm saying.
Let's just say within
Within
10% of,
That's all I was doing.
let's just say within 10% of $300, plus or minus.
And we want to do 60 months.
We want to do 60 months, but we want to try to get extended, a 3-year extended warranty, because it comes with 2, so that we have a warranty throughout our payment plan.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Jessica seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor? We have 4 votes. the sidearm, I think Donald explained what this is used for.
Robbie said he's taking it over.
Are you taking it over? Do you want
I
to?
make a motion that we table the sidearm.
Until you have time.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a motion to table.
Second.
All in favor? Motion is passed. Okay. Item number 6 is ordinance 1E. Not 1C. The animal control ordinance. We jumped a little bit ahead of ourselves because an ordinance, until it is written, cannot be approved. We approved the concept, but it was not in the form of an ordinance. So what you have, what we sent to you for you to review, hopefully was what we had agreed on as being in here. And so from now on, when we have an ordinance, if we discuss an ordinance, if one of you brings something to us that you want to discuss to be an ordinance or in an ordinance, we will discuss it at one meeting, go home and think about it before we even vote on it, because several people in the community have approached me and said that they had other ideas about what we voted on, and they didn't even have an opportunity to hear anything except at me. So they didn't even hear anything about what the rules were going to be or anything about it. So the rule from now on is going to be, until it is in the form that you see here, it cannot be approved. I will not sign. And I have that. That's part of my job. Okay, so, I think page 11 is that. Is that where it is? So, just so you all know, I am totally against having chickens in our city. I think that when the original ordinance in 1988 was put in, that there was a vision for our city to not be a farm subdivision, that they did not want to have any kind of farm animals in the city.
Well, I have a question on page 11, down in section 1-10, part A, says keep no more than 4, parentheses, 5 chickens.
See, there's a typo in there already.
I don't
I was
see
wondering if I was dyslexic or not.
Well, that's okay, because while I was redoing this and ordinance for the past 3 ordinances for animal control, there was one whole line left out. That was like somebody had done the first line of a section and left the second one out, and nobody ever noticed that it didn't say anything.
Was that supposed to say 5?
It should say 5 or 4, whatever you choose. It should say 5 from what we discussed.
And I don't mean to be picky, but on page 12, or E, I'm sorry,
She said the dot, dot, dot on E.
Is that it?
no. Well, that might be one thing, but I think the 4 needs to come out. A person shall not keep the covered enclosure 4 within, but I think the 4 needs to come. Nope, don't need to be picky.
That's why you have it to read.
And somebody knows this a lot better than me, but where was the, 'cause I just didn't find it, where was the incubator?
It was on the prior one, it was like,
Did it just, the whole thing be taken, was the whole thing taken out?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was taken- It was taken out.
this is the only thing added or changed to the ordinance.
Okay. And the only other thing was, page 11, just above section 110, or I guess, is the line about,
So chicken or rabbits.
right, chickens and rabbits for FFA, 4-H or school project. The ordinance 1D had a time limit in there. And that was taken out.
So, is this part? They have chickens is, if you go,
Yeah, it's saying
That's
that's,
what it says.
yeah, rabbits and chickens on this is being allowed.
Sorry?
That, yeah, that's what it's saying on here is, on C is rabbits and chickens are allowed for those purposes for circus, zoo, 11. Zoological, and then for FFA, 4-H and school project purposes.
So we're saying, so in reality, this says that a person can have 5 chickens, and that their kids, when they're having these projects, can also have chickens, can have different kind of chickens. Is that right?
Yeah, because you can have hens that are for eggs, and you can have chickens that are for show only.
those are different. I'm not-
Yeah, they're two completely different type of birds, two completely different type of chickens.
There's some ugly ones too. You would not believe the different chickens actually. I never knew that many different chickens existed in this world.
So, is this saying that you could possibly have, how many chickens?
You can show up to 3 different types of sets of chickens and for property if you want to for show breeds.
Well, but I'm saying this document is basically saying you can't have any more than 5,
Right.
no matter if they're show chickens or
Yeah,
egg laying
this is just
chickens.
a chicken that you can't have more than 5. That's right.
So you can't have,
So if you had 2 show chickens, you can have 3 hens.
Right. when we first did the ordinance for I-9C, it was approved to have up to 9 chickens is what we had approved first. When we all did that. But then, now we're doing this and it's going up to 5. Because each child, say I have all 3 of my kids want to show a chicken, you have to show a set of 3. Or it has to be 2 hens and a rooster for each set of 3. So each one of my kids wants to show 3 chickens, I have to show 3 chickens, it'd be 9 chickens, which is why we did 9. But this is saying we can only keep 5, which limits other kids from, other families want to be able to keep it, it limits it down to them actually being able to show before age or above.
So do we even need to have the FFA 4-H school terminology in there? If those chickens are gonna be part of 5 chickens.
Well, if nothing else, I think you have to have it because of the rabbits.
We can have rabbits, take the chickens off.
It actually says in the beginning that pets are considered, rabbits are considered pets, according to this ordinance.
It doesn't,
It sure does.
because it used to say,
As it says right here, pets, there's the pets, a domesticated or tamed animal kept for pleasure rather than utility and shall include dogs, cats, rabbits, rodents, birds, reptiles, and any other species of animal which is sold or retained as a household pet. I mean, that's not what they told me. I don't. They really are for show, but anyway, I was just saying, it does say, I'm just, whatever y'all need to do to make the ordinance easier.
because it also says in I-9 that under prohibited animals are rabbits. So,
Yes.
to answer your question, so there'd be only 5 chickens regardless of whether they're show
But yeah, that's all I was trying to,
or this. I'm glad you said that.
I'm just trying to make sure that we didn't
Do
get
you have any
into.
questions or comments?
I had something, but it was on a different, area of the animal control ordinance that we have. Do we have a lot of unregistered dogs and cats, would you say, or do we know?
I would say that probably 9/10 of the cats are not registered.
Okay. Well,
Because
do-
people don't know that they're supposed to register cats as well as dogs.
well,
But we
these-
do have some,
Under section 11-5, it's on page 17, every owner of a dog or cat 4 months of age or older shall be required to register the animal in the log cabin. Do you think if we, put a or face X dollar amount fine or be subject to, do you think that might,
well, the whole ordinance, if you violate one of these,
okay,
the
Like
whole
50 bucks.
ordinance, at the end, it says,
okay,
or somewhere,
okay,
I thought I saw $50,
that's,
okay.
but I might be wrong.
The only, I have a question about the same thing he's talking about. My only question is, I know mine don't get rabies till they're 6 months old.
yeah,
So, I mean, we can register them at 4 months, but you're not gonna have a rabies vaccination till they're 6 months old.
Well,
So,
how many people do you think have little dogs, I got little ones too, John,
Yeah, I would,
have little dogs in their house that never register? And how are you gonna catch?
well, I know, I'm just saying, for the most part, that they don't get their rabies till they're 6 months old, whether they're little or big.
Right.
So, because part of, and I'm just saying something because part of the registration requirements is to have the certification of the rabies vaccination. So if you get them to register it at 4 months old, then they're never gonna bring back that rabies, so, but, anyway. But that was the only thing I saw.
And just to be sure, we keep chickens on fire.
Oh, no.
That was
Lighters.
There is a clause in here.
I know, I was
No
looking at
fight, no fighting.
it. Star poison used for fighting.
Be roosters and cabbages.
So what are the cons of having chicken? I don't know. We raised them on the farm.
So what was the con of raising them?
There wasn't
They were
any.
free range, they were free range.
There wasn't any.
Were they free range? They were free range. Chickens. They were just out. You didn't keep them down.
Mine were always in the coop.
No, we didn't, well, it was a pen, but it
Yeah.
was a pretty good size pen. But I'm just trying to find out some
In this,
information of what is the downside of having some chicken?
people not taking care of them, not taking care of the waste.
The noise and the
And the
smell.
smell.
I don't think I can think of it.
Well,
Now, we have specific,
noise.
what's it supposed to be, 30 feet, what do we say, is 30 feet from the road?
30 feet
something.
from the road,
From the
Is that
front
it?
property line.
Okay.
from the
20.
property line.
20 feet from the nearest structure.
Yeah, that's in here, right?
That's in
Okay.
there.
And there was, what I saw on my email was about, we had to say, we said that it would have to be placed in the backyard. That's not in here, right? Didn't you say that it?
No, we just.
So it was changed to 30 feet from
Okay.
the property, the front property line.
Okay. But what I
No closer
understand
than.
that they're enclosed, right?
Mhm.
So the way I understand it, so I,
They can't free range.
that,
They cannot free range. They
exactly,
cannot
so.
feed out, so we will not have chickens running.
So sorry. My question is, the email said that we had to say what materials it needed to be made
Well,
of,
what
but I
I-
don't see it in here.
Well, right, it's not in here, so when we issue a permit, should there be guidelines for either what it should look like or what the materials need to be? I'm looking at administratively, what are we looking for when we issue a permit?
I think most chicken coops are made out of wood and chicken wire, right?
You know, you can make them out of wood, you can make them out of chicken wire, you can make them out of tin, you can put shingles on top. It's such a wide variety. Because we made ours out of treated lumber, we had chicken wire, we had different type of wire, we have shingles up top, we have plywood that we screw on during the winter to make sure they don't get too cold.
In fact, the ordinance said that you have to provide a picture to, or one picture of it, so.
So what are we looking? So you can send me a picture of a doghouse, how would I know that that's not for chickens? I mean, how would I, you know? I mean.
Would you not do the same as you do a house and have some type of a drawing or a sketch?
Well, we don't provide for that. I mean, we're not asking our building standards people, you know, who have worked really hard at making sure that things are not too close to property lines, and then, and what materials are gonna be used so that they don't look out of place in people's yards. Do we need to describe that they have to be the same color or? I mean,
I think
You want
we
somebody to
you're
have
thinking.
purple?
You're
Making it harder than it
you're
has to be.
spreading, spreading, what's the right word? I think you're setting yourself up for, I hate to say failure by doing that, because you can drive around and see outbuildings that aren't the same color as the house,
Great, okay.
that are falling down, or, I mean, so.
Well, I'm just
No.
thinking about the person that's gonna be issuing these permits. What exactly are we looking for? So I guess,
I think the only thing you can do is.
I mean, are we
is
looking
make
for a
sure that-
certain, are we looking for a certain size that will house
It
five?
says it in there, right there, that all enclosures for keeping chickens and hens shall be constructed and repaired as to prevent rats, mice, and other rodents being harbored underneath, within, or within the walls of the enclosure. So I think if we look at it and see that it's a sound structure,
And it's
Does it
completely
need,
enclosed.
does it need to be a certain size for 5 chickens?
what did you say yours, how big did you say yours was? Just, I mean,
I mean, should we say, a minimum of a certain,
If
you know,
you if you get
I
a
don't
small size brood chicken, you don't need the same size structure as you're in a large size brood chicken. I think at that point, the person needs to have common sense as to what they're building. And it says it in there that it has to be completely enclosed, it has to be completely constructed to where it needs to be. I think at that point, we should be able to look at a picture that they're providing for the permit that shows it's completely enclosed, the chickens cannot get out, and be able to do it that way. I think it's being made too hard on it.
I think all they need to do is show us where they're putting it.
Do you think whoever is gonna do this needs to go see it instead of just look at a picture, go eyeball it? Instead of
I think this says it has to show the,
I would
Feed
have
from
two
everything.
pictures, one of the, of up close of the enclosure, and then one taken from the front property line to show where it's at.
but then you don't know how close it is to the bed.
Well, you can look at a picture and kind of guesstimate that. I mean, if you want somebody to go
Or
out
we
there and
can go-
measure it, then
I mean,
have
we can-
somebody go out there and measure it, but,
I just,
I mean, we're having trouble getting people to do COs, so who's gonna go out there and do all the measuring? So, I mean, I don't know if we're trying to make this so hard that they
I'm
can't do
not,
it. Not
I'm
you,
really not
I'm
trying to do
saying,
that, I'm
in
just saying
general,
it.
but I mean,
Why can't you just have what we would call a plot plan? Here's my lot, here's my house, this is where I'm putting it.
you know, they can show X buildings here, and it's 10 feet from it. I mean,
I don't think we're gonna get into the chicken coop inspection.
No, I don't want that either, I don't want
As
that
many, I
either.
know there's a lot of people that have said, I want. But when it really gets down to building it and actually putting it together, you're not gonna have as many people as you think getting chickens.
Oh, I agree,
Honestly.
I agree.
I mean, seriously.
I think,
Because they're not gonna wanna
novelty-
put the time and the effort and the money into building the cage and doing this and doing that. So I think, we just stick with what it says, and, I mean, there's so many YouTube videos that can show them how to build an enclosure. I don't think we need to restrict the size and the supplies.
yeah, because you can buy breed ready to go and from Tractor Supply, and all you gotta do is put it together, but,
Okay. Anything else? Are we taking the chickens off from the FFA 4-H projects? Now now that we are going to be keeping chicken hens. So we're going to take that wording off in there. And just leave rabbits. Because we just said that they're included as part of these 5 chickens. Right?
Unless you have to,
Well, but here's your thing that you're getting into is the rabbits don't have to pay a permit fee for FFA. But so then you're essentially saying that chickens have to have a permit fee whether they're FFA or not. So if you're gonna do that, then you need to make the rabbits the same and make it across the board. We don't need to split and do one or the other.
I think you have to leave it in there because that tells you that you can have those chickens. Just saying that keep no more than 5 chickens or whatever per resident doesn't, there's nowhere in there that says you can have them. Does that make sense? I don't think it hurts to leave it in there. I don't know, I'm waiting for discussion. You know?
Well, that's what I'm.
Well, I mean, it, like we said last time, you're gonna get people who say, well, I've just got, because, again, FFA doesn't require you to show pictures and get a permit and do all this for chicken coops, but to have chickens for food, it does. So you're gonna get people that are gonna say something. These are for FFA when they really aren't, so they don't have to pay the permit fee and do what they're supposed to do. Unfortunately, so I don't, that's why I said it doesn't, I think it should stay in there for the FFA and 4-H stuff, yes. But
So we're not asking them to build a,
we
we're not
got,
asking them to pay a permit. Is that what you're saying?
that's what we talked about in the 3 tools. That's what I was saying when you said to take this out. Then you're, I don't think I'm explaining it right.
You are.
Okay. You're essentially making the FFA 4-H kids pay permits for their chickens, but not for the rabbits. If you take that out. And just put rabbits. If you want me to
Okay,
pay,
so you're saying that if the FFA 4-H kids have chickens, they don't have to pay a fee. They don't have to abide by section 1I10. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying
No,
they don't have, no, let me finish. I'm not saying they don't have to abide by this because they obviously have to build a chicken coop. But they aren't required to get a permit before that. So if you take this out, take chickens out and just leave rabbits, I mean, if you want to make it where rabbits have to pay a permit fee, fine, I'll pay it. But I don't care. I really don't care about that. What I'm saying is if you take chickens out of this statement, then you're making FFA 4-H students pay a fee for one animal, but not for the other.
So how do we remedy that?
We had talked about last time about us registering our 4-H animals with paperwork from 4-H. So that we can put a line in here stipulating that
So-
we do register it with the city, but there's no fee for that. If that's how you want to, because, or,
Something. Page 11.
No.
Page 11 is where we're talking.
Right, but. $10 permit fee. Well. So. That's mine. I'm gonna ask my friends across the aisle. So in section 110, keeping of chicken and hens, the person who wishes to keep or house chickens on his or her property, comma, with the exception of 4-H and FFA student members,
Members.
Pay a membership.
comma, shall obtain a permit from the city before acquiring the hens and pay $10 per chicken.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Anything else?
So all of that has to be incorporated into this and printed out before we do anything else. Is that correct?
It should be. Or we can make, or you can make a motion that with the, that you accept it with the corrections that were made.
What did I miss earlier? I thought there was something.
I would prefer to have it written,
Okay.
but we do minutes that way. Accepting minutes as written, except with the exception of changing the wording before we pass it.
Right.
That's what I would prefer.
Okay.
It just makes it so much cleaner
Agreed.
and that we don't miss anything. Was put forth last time, we would have missed this part about with the exception of the FFA. Because there would have been nothing in there about that. And we would have caught those typos. Okay. So we have anything else that they want to change it? That, I'll entertain a motion to table this until we have it in its final form.
Make a motion that we table on animal control. We have it worded in its final form.
Is there a second?
Okay.
All in favor?
Ray would be a dead horse.
Sarah, you take it.
Oh.
I don't even want to eat chickens. Okay, the utility bill, we discussed at the last meeting, being able to include a line item about the volunteer fire department and the voluntary contribution. Rodney, would you address this, or do you want me to?
It's virtually impossible. Because of, number one, there is no, the postcards look like there's a space, but I was looking at, her,
Police.
accounting system and the way it's set up, and there is no line item to put in there. They're all full, so. The other part about it is that, and I didn't think about it, but when you pay your water bill, you write one check or you pay cash, you put it on a credit card. That water bill is basically split down between water, sewer, and
Infrastructure.
garbage and all that. Okay.
Garbage.
And so she has to take each one of those payments and she has to manually figure out how much goes here, how much goes here, how much goes here, how much goes here. And then, if they were to put it on the water bill, what did it take? Oh, the water tap fee, that's what it was. It would take the place of the water tap fee, the only place that it could go. So, let's say that, and the audit is like a living document. And so if they took that out, put volunteer fire department or whatever, and you put $5 in there, and you paid a $2,000 tap fee back last year, then when the audit came out, it would look like you paid $2,005 to the volunteer fire department, and where's your receipt? And it would create another desk in another office to do that. I'm convinced of that. And so we need to figure something else out, because that I cannot see.
It's right more habit than what it did.
I can't, well,
That's a good call that.
at least it'd be up there 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And trying to separate not only what she's separating now, but now that, oh, okay, now we gotta do this. And then what do we do with that money? Do we have to go open a separate account, put that money in a separate account? And so I don't know, I mean, I can't see that being a viable option, just because it would be a bookkeeping nightmare for her.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't mean that I don't think we ought to keep trying to think of something. That's not a, I don't think that would ever work. But we need to do something. I just don't know what that is.
Just incorporate an envelope with the log cabin times. Not everybody takes that or looks at it. Didn't you consider maybe mailing people an
We did-
envelope
we-
or
we-
something from?
Yes,
That
we
sounds simple, but.
Yes, we
No,
know, we
no,
did discuss it.
That's
did
a
discuss
good
it.
point, but being an old country boy, I'm like, okay, so if you give them a self-stamped envelope, okay, so postage is over 50 cents, or about 50 cents. You had 300 people, that's $175 that the city would be spending to see if they'd get a donation.
Give that one.
Duh. Yeah. It's nothing. So, I'm not giving up. That was a roadblock. So now I think we should figure something else out. I just don't know what it is.
I'll brainstorm. I'll see what I can do.
Going door to door would be a bad idea. Maybe, I mean, I don't know.
To somebody might get shot.
Yeah.
So there went,
Vicious
there went that
reward.
750 that you got
And I
collected.
went,
So we had thrown around some ideas about maybe having two fundraisers, different chili dinner, spaghetti dinner, and having it held at the Old Barn. We could sponsor it that way. That was one thing that we had discussed. What else did we discuss?
Because we could do like a chili cook-off.
Yeah.
And have people do, chili contest and then charge for people to come in and give them some chili. And
But we definitely need to,
you're saying the city can't?
Nobody. I don't know. I ran into this back in the day, tailgating at football games and what have you, and you couldn't charge, but you could have a tip jar.
you can charge to have a dinner or chili, and
Right.
get the chili, and you have to get a, and fries, but you can't charge them to come in to.
I just know because that's what they can stuff. We charge the flat rate. That's why I was,
so what,
that's why I said I guess it's different because of the entities are different. That's the only fundraiser we do.
I mean,
for
the
SFA
city's,
every
the
year
city's
is
not
chili.
is not gonna have any part in it. It would have to be run by the fire department.
Like when we did Britt's dinner for her to go to Boston, we did a spaghetti dinner to raise money because it was so expensive and we charged them, I think it was $5. But anyways,
We'll have to look into it. and see
yeah,
How we can do
I can do some checking too, because that's why I said we just did a flat rate for FFA for the chili cook-off. So that's why I thought we could, but
it. So we really need to work on the budget part of it, how we can work them into the budget.
on a more regular basis.
On a regular basis. With a memorandum of understanding. We need to get, go forward with that and then maybe have that auxiliary to be important. Okay. We really don't need to. Did we take action on that before about the line item? If we didn't say let's do it, we just said let's see if we can do it.
Okay.
On the
We didn't take
utility.
any action.
Therefore, I will set a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? We are adjourned. You seconded?